The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Last Orders, the podcast where we look back into the films our Hallmark favourite actors and directors would rather forget they were ever involved with. I'm Joe, and with me as always, a man who has raised over 200 quid for the charity Mind by running around Leeds in his tiny pants, it's James.
Hello, everyone, and thanks to everyone that donated as well. Yeah, that was really good.
And he's going to walk 5,000 steps and then 5,000 more just to be the man who walks 1 million steps for Diabetes UK. It's Mark.
I told you already, it's 100 million steps.
You have to walk past the sun and back. Yes.
Which sun?
I don't know. Beetlegeist.
There you go.
If you want to keep up to date with upcoming film choices and that, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you are from New Jersey and want to recommend a film to us, you can email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com.
Do we get a different accent every week now?
Well, most of this week's film is set in Jersey, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I got some geographic grumbles this week, lads. I've got to be honest.
I know nothing about New Jersey apart from the fact that the World Infernal Friendship Society were from there, and I think Pat Vale lives in somewhere in Jersey near the coast. Other than that,
Jersey Devil.
This isn't filmed.
Oh yeah.
So there's that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. This is predominantly filmed in a warehouse. This film.
Yes, it is in Canada, I believe,
where all women want to have their weddings.
Yeah.
Near some barrels.
Join us at Wedding Warehouse.
It does feel a lot like that. How is everyone before we get into it? Because I'm knackered.
Yeah, I'm bloody shattered.
Yeah, I'm
this
tired.
This weather, and obviously James running.
Yeah, that was good. It was really, really hot, and I was very, very sweaty and very, very slow. And at one point, there were people like dressed up as things, and there was a man in like a bear costume, for like, I don't know, kids with diseases or something.
Daft kids.
It made me hot just like looking at the fact that somebody was underneath all that stuff. And then I got passed by this Ritter salted caramel chocolate bar that was sponsoring the event. And I was like, that's the fucker that's made me so slow.
Yes, that's the rub, isn't it?
Lowest point.
You having some sort of episode from the heat? Was it heat stroke?
Were you trying to run alongside and lick them for energy?
I never understood Ritter Sport. I mean, is it an energy chocolate or is it just chocolate?
I think it's just the name of the bar, isn't it?
Right, okay. From that bloke who was in that 7 Ways to Date My Daughter or whatever it was.
John Ritter's Dead Sports.
Yeah.
It's the weird thing you get on holiday, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah.
Or in Lidl.
That and Milka.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like Milka.
I like Milka.
I like Milka.
Anyway,
Jesus.
here we go. This is it. Chocolate chat. Let's fucking get into it. This week's film. 2013 classic Christmas Bounty.
Classic.
Classic in inverted commas. Let us fire up the synopsis, Matron. Not once, but twice.
That's the sound, everyone, of the holiday plot garland of magic. And it's feeling very pleased for itself because it's got the day off. It is, obviously, it's the festive season in the middle of June. So I've given it, I've just sacked it for the day and replaced it with AI. So what I did was I got OpenAI to make a plot instead, using some elements. And it's come up with A Christmas Bounty, 2013. Margaret Bounty, a free-spirited event planner, is hired to organise a festive Christmas celebration in a picturesque coastal town. Unbeknownst to Margaret, the town has a secret tradition where the residents dress up as pirates to celebrate the holiday season. Caught in the whimsy, Margaret finds herself falling for a charming and mysterious man called Captain Jack, who embodies the spirit of a true pirate. As the Christmas festivities unfold, Margaret must navigate the challenges of love, including the arrival of her demanding ex-boyfriend, doesn't give a name for that one, and decide whether a life of adventure with Captain Jack is truly what makes her heart sail.
I mean, that sounds better than this, to be fair.
I don't know
I'm
where
not-
he got pirates from. That's
Bounty, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I'm guessing so.
Caught in her
Okay.
whimsies next week's episode.
oh, mate,
But
I would watch the
makes
fuck
it
out of
hard
Caught in
to-
Her
It's
Whimsy.
it's come up with some dialogue for it as well.
Fucking hell.
I won't do it all, but interior of Margaret Bounty's art studio. Day. Margaret Bounty, a talented artist in her late 30s, is putting the finishing touches on a beautiful painting of a pirate ship sailing across a starry night sky. She gazes at the painting, her eyes filled with a mix of longing and wanderlust. Margaret, if only life were as adventurous as the world I create on canvas. Suddenly, there's a knock at her studio door. Margaret, come in. The door creaks open, revealing Captain James Hawke, a charming and rugged pirate with a mischievous grin. James, leaning against the doorframe. Ahoy, Margaret. Heard you be seeking some adventure in your life.
Wait, so he's actually... When is this set?
She then goes into the painting, I think. It's not entirely clear.
That's great.
Is this that book that Marge is reading?
Swim, swim.
Not as much as your heaving bosom. I mean, I reckon we can film that for about $1,000.
Absolutely.
Probably animate it for less.
You get it put on YouTube at 1 × 3 the speed.
Well,
Like
it saves us all time, doesn't it? Mark, I believe you have your own separate machine this week.
just a little, yeah. The year is 2057. It's been 35 years since the last bounty was found in a tub of celebrations, and society has crumbled. People over 50 wander the streets, crying out for desiccated coconut in crap chocolate. Reporter for the East Humber Reader, Trevor Deakins, receives a report that there's a pallet of a 42-year-old celebrations coming into Hull at midnight, but also that Prime Minister Robo Boris, in for his 17th term, and his crack team of Candymen have a sniff of the shipment. Can Deakins intercept the country's least favourite confection and save Christmas for the East Riding?
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the bounties.
I was going to say, putting it out there, I miss bounties.
Yeah,
I miss
can't believe they dropped
that
them.
East Riding boundary as well. 1974, I think that went out.
Just very, very quickly, listeners, if you've no idea what we're going about, especially if you're foreign, why have bounties been removed from celebrations chocolates? Mars Wrigley say of its own research of 2,000 British idiots aged between 18 and 65 suggested that 18% would feel irritated, inverted commas, to find only bounty bars were left in the tub, while 58% believed, I'm going to believe this, it would lead to a family argument.
I mean, Christmas is a stressful time, but it's like...
But
it's only bounty bars. I like mini bounty
they're
bars.
the best, one of the best bits. That and the Malteser truffle ones.
Yeah, but you only get like 4 of them in a box.
Yeah, but you get 900 bounties. So
That's
I'm
it.
like,
So if you like the least popular one, you get to eat more of them. It's just simple maths, isn't it?
yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think the same study also found that a majority of respondents would still elect Robo Boris.
As long as, even if he did lie about bounties being in celebration tubs.
Brexit part 3.
Whatever celebration he got up to, right?
Yeah, this is going to age well.
What podcast is this again?
The actual synopsis for A Christmas Bounty. A New York City school teacher is threatened by a man she caught as bounty hunter 6 years ago. This is terribly written. As a bounty hunter 6 years ago, she's kept her past a secret, so she returns to her parents in New Jersey to catch him again. Now,
All of that happens.
that's...
They never mention her being a teacher again.
Nope, she just... That kid that's like, oh, I love you, Mrs. Jenkins, or whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck
off.
you, Billy.
It's all right. I've already tried to kill your dad.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into this. This is, by the way, this is from WWE Studios. This has the stamp of quality of Vince fucking touchy hands McMahon all over it. That's why there's a lot of cleavage in it, I'm guessing. We open, as we always do in these films, with aerial shots of supposedly New York City. I think it is, because it's dark footage.
Non-aerial shots of papyrus font.
Oh, yes. A
Same
sign of quality.
WWE studios.
Um,
There's also like some interesting music over this that goes, "We're gonna have a happy Christmas. We're gonna have a happy Christmas. We're gonna have a happy Christmas. We're gonna have a." It's just that
Because
over
there's
and
no
over.
bounties left in the thing. That's
Yeah.
why we have a happy Christmas.
They couldn't afford the Christmas wrapping by the waitresses. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Good tune.
It is a banger.
Yeah, this holiday pageant, by the way, in the Ghostbusters HQ.
I was thinking, like, where
we
is this
got
school?
one holiday pageant.
And there is some sort of children's. It's a Christian nativity and a Jewish what's the Jewish
Hanukkah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell. Sort of hybrid because
So which one of those features a Christmas cow? Which one of the kids is dressed as?
the nativity has like all the daft kids get put as animals, don't they?
Yeah, and a tree.
Oh, that one kid who was grass that time, which always makes me laugh.
I was a leaf bearer. I think that might have come out before. My
What?
job was to fan King Herod down with a leaf.
That's
And
not Christmas.
I did that for like 40 minutes.
That's Passover with King Herod.
But they obviously passed over that into Christmas.
He passed straight through this. So, yeah, not a good pun. Not my best. It's too hot.
The good kids. If you're one of the better actors at school, you get Joseph, Mary, wise men, shepherds.
Yeah.
Everyone else, you get choir or animals. That's it.
Yeah.
I was one of the wise men at the summer school nativity, and the stage was basically just kind of like a step off the thing. And I was so bored, I did a convoluted fall off of the stage. And when everyone went to see if I was all right, I got up and went, I fell off my camel. What a fucking smart ass, precocious little prick I
You've
was.
always been an entertainer, haven't you? Always, even at an early age.
Do you know what? I would probably punt myself down the fucking stairs if I met me as a child.
As you can guess, I was always Joseph because my school was very limited in imagination. It was either me or Joseph Robinson, and Joseph Robinson was a big ginger lad, so not going to go down well in Jerusalem.
I can't be bothered to call you anything else. Get up there.
Just easier when you're giving stage directions, I guess. This thing has happened. She's talking to someone else, and they're like, "Oh, it was great." Apart from the shepherds picking their noses and Mary falling over the dreidel, which I guess like Jesus was Jewish technically.
Let's name some Jewish things. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Woody Allen.
Stay away from those kids.
When Mary fell over Woody Allen and his clarinet or something.
Oh, and then Su Yin's retainer fell out of his pocket.
So this is Tory, the teacher, who's with James, who's just turned up. He's been tracking her on an app where the location dots are love hearts.
But it doesn't have like a map or anything. It just has a proximity to each other, like Predator.
She could be through 6 walls. She could be in a bank vault.
You have to hold it up, then the heat vision sensor comes on, and you can like, oh, she's over there. Yeah, which again, right? As much as I feel like bad for James in this film, he is quite clingy.
Well,
he is. It also emerges later that he's a venture capital. He's not a nice dude.
He's also non-union, that bloke out of Shield that got everybody together and then got murdered about 4 films in.
He felt very familiar.
20 years old and everyone on the planet.
He felt very familiar to me. He was like in an episode of The Office, but I honestly could not picture where I'd seen him before.
A lot of people in this, I was like, who are you? Because he looks, the bad guy in this looks familiar as well. And I can't think where he's from, but...
I didn't recognise him at him.
But
it's mostly, as it turned out, it was like Dirk Gently. It's like most people ended up in that at some point.
It must have been where people, all ex-WWE people go to Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. But she's talking to this teacher, and he's shown up, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to go meet my parents at their annual white people party." All these white people seem to have like massive houses and have really boring parties at Christmas. And another teacher comes along and goes, "Oh, little what's he called, Bobby has gone missing." And I was like, he's in a school. How far can he get? But whatever.
Wow.
So
should have put a tracker on his phone.
Just put chips in everyone. Is that what you want, Bill Gates?
Yeah, she spots a suspicious car outside, so she sends James off to go and get a scarf or something, while she climbs out of the window and then belts it along the rooftop, leaps onto this car, and carjacks.
Yeah, she's running in heels. It's like Jurassic World all over.
Running on heels on a ledge of like.
She's got heels on, hasn't she? How's she managed that?
Practice. Because she pulls this guy out And Bobby's like, no, that's my dad. And she goes, yeah, but you've still got a restraining order or something. And I was like, what? But the dad
she gives a look to the camera, which I've just written down as, whoops, has this ever happened to you?
The dad goes, but it's Christmas. And I was like, yeah, the law just doesn't catch. It's like the purge at Christmas.
You can abduct as many children as you want.
It's his kid, like, I get it, but so she like says, I can phone this in, or you can phone it in, and it'll be better. And I was like, he's gonna phone up and go, I've just tried to abduct my son.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what that, like, I'd have just fucked off. But then like, I got confused because later on in the mall, I thought he was the guy looking at the bras, and I was like, well, is he going to be like the comedy foil all the way through this lad? No, it's a different guy entirely.
Yeah. So on the back of that, she's like, oh well, I reckon I can handle meeting James's parents for the first time. He tells her that mum's going to berate you. It's like setting expectations pretty low.
I know, but it's wasps in it. Like, it's, yeah.
And it's a very, very classy sort of New York, Manhattan, jazz piano in the background Christmas.
It looks boring as fuck, mate.
It needed some of those moosehead glass mugs out of National Lampoons.
It needed some twat in a jumper dancing. And going, it's not illegal if we don't stream it. Fuck you, prick.
What? Yeah.
It's going to I don't care. I'm still so angry about that.
I mean, she is called Tory, so why not?
There you go.
I mean, I was going to say that as well.
I wouldn't have minded if that party, like, they'd have been doing like rails of coke, and but it was just the most boring white people cheese and fucking biscuits party, and I was like,
where are the Tories of the
going to prison? Yeah, exactly. Why's no one? Why's the guy from Ghosts with no trousers on?
Why's no one kicking a dog to death?
Yeah, it was just boring. If I'm going to a Tory Christmas party, I want at least 2 dead bodies by the end of it. Like,
and preferably the Prime Minister.
Well, yeah, I'd infiltrate. Oh yes, I do find Mrs. Brown's boys funny. Those Irish. But she goes to this party. The pet, like, she's like, this is really boring, and I'm like, I'm with you on that, Tory. To be fair, his parents come down, and it is 2 middle-aged white people who clearly hate each other, and she immediately looks at her with like something she scraped off her shoe.
My notes here say, "Kill wealthy dowager."
Dad gets a name wrong, Tara instead of Tory. They don't bother to introduce themselves either.
She goes. That's the thing, though. She goes, "I'm Tory," and he goes, "Hello, Tara." I'm like, are you fucking thick? I've literally just told you my name.
Just ignorant middle-aged white people, aren't they? They've got money. They don't have to know people's names.
They say they're off to the south of France. She says, "Oh, whereabouts?" That you must be really excited by that. And they go, "Oh, have you never been before?" Sort of thing. And like, they're doing a good job of making them pricks. I do hate them. She has to immediately take a call. She's very flighty throughout this. Has to go and take a call. And then
from an unknown number.
Yeah, from an ex-con who's been jailed because of her. It was Minucci, we later find out.
He says, she goes, "You're in prison." And he goes, "No, I'm out." And she goes, "Oh, okay." No explanation as to what he was in prison for or how he got out. Is he out on parole? Did he escape? Doesn't matter. And she goes, right. He goes, "I'm coming for you, all of you." And I was like, oh, okay, this could be quite good. Fair enough. Like,
at the beginning, this bit, when he calls, and I don't know if it was just because I was kind of only half paying attention. I was certain he was some sort of deep south kind of, crime lord. I thought it was Big Daddy from The Simpsons. Because when he was ringing, he was kind of like, and I was like, is that, oh lordy, I wish I weren't so fat. But it turns out, no, he's really Jersey. And I was kind of, no, I was never going to take this back. I was never going to watch another second of this twice. So I'll never know. And only you can tell me it wasn't the case.
I think it's that thing, isn't it? I don't know if it's true, but there's that thing about nobody can tell an accent if you're whispering. Like, you don't have an accent when you whisper.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I wonder if it's that at play. I think it's harder. I don't think it's impossible, but yeah.
No,
I was more concerned.
New Zealand's dead easy because that's basically whispering anyway. Excuse me. Yeah, isn't it? It's just Australians, but quieter.
With all the vowels in the wrong bits. Yeah.
As I said, I don't think it's entirely true.
It's not a scientific theory, but yes.
No. I was more bothered about the fact that the parents come back at this bit and the dad goes, "I'm about to give my toast. Where should we all stand?" I don't know. It's your fucking pie, not mine.
Yeah. Stand outside, mate.
Wrong end
of a gun range.
She's like, "Shove your party."
She's like, "I have to go." And he's like, "Why?" And she goes, "I have to help my parents with things and just left. And I was like, never come back. Just go and don't come back. Then she arrives back home. Well, no, she has
she
to
gets
go
a taxi to her old house, parents' place that's all done up for Christmas
Mhm.
in a hearty suburban sort of yard.
Jersey, Trenton.
Not near the shore.
I think it's Trenton, which I think was where Jack Terricloth was born and raised as well, which is just a little fun bit for me there. But and we're introduced to her parents, Hawk, who has an aversion to sleeves. And it just like this whole bit just reminded me, in South Park when Cartman becomes a bounty hunter, because the mum is basically just that woman who's blonde hair and tits, isn't it? It's Gail, and then there's also like, is he the little brother?
I thought he was the brother, and he's just called. Is he called Gadget? Obviously not Out Gadget. But
No, his name is something like Keith Bones or something like that.
Yeah, he's called Boner.
He's got the face of a Donny, and I've just called him Donny throughout it.
He does have the face of a Donny. Yeah,
he does. I don't even know why I think that, but yeah, I missed him in this, and he just turns up later. I was like, "Who the fuck are you, Donny?"
He's in there for like a second.
Right.
But it's them saying, she comes home, she's like, oh, Manucci is out and he's coming for us, so we've got to take him down first. And I was like, can you do that? Isn't like bounty hunting, you have to like
get the bounty. Yeah, you have to.
It's not crime fighting.
Yeah, you're not fucking kick-ass. You're not a vigilante. You can't
I've looked this up as well. I'm not entirely sure that you're allowed to. Well, in some states you probably are. Arm yourself, and you're not allowed to like open fire. Maybe in self-defense, because that's.
Oh, mate, they open fire constantly in this film.
I know, like
Homer opening bottles with a gun,
turning out the light switch and stuff. Yeah.
So they're like, oh, so you're back then.
You're back.
Her dad tries to attack her and she fucks him up. I was just like, but yes,
she was Tornado. She
was known as Tornado. And I thought, would you want to bring your child into the world of bounty hunting? Because it seems like it's an incredibly sort of dangerous and shitty job.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, do you want your child to be known as Tornado? And yes, I do.
Yeah, the meat tornado.
I mean, if you're the kind of person that's called Hawk and doesn't have sleeves on any of his shirts,
to be fair,
they're not our people, lads. I'll be honest.
No, they're not. They're not for us. And so they have like all their police bounty hunter badges on the wall.
Yeah,
their house is just like stuffed full of weapons as well.
Bounty Hunter Bell, it says on this badge, and I was like, she's called Tory Bell. Is that not the name of your man that plays Jigsaw?
Oh no.
Ooh.
Torben Bell.
Agent Coulson, I want to play a game. You spent your life creating S.H.I.E.L.D., but can you shield your balls from a bandsaw or something? I don't know. I never really got those films. It was always very cruel. They were always very
rewatched
unkind.
the first one, and it's not very good.
It's really unkind.
Yeah, because there's no real way of surviving a lot of them. Mikey the Muscles, you are a wrestler. And so, yeah, they go and like meet Mike the Muscles.
So they hatch some sort of plot which involves them going to a mall. Yeah,
because it's free to film in malls.
Honestly, was trying to follow this plot that they devised.
They go to. Go on. Where does she come out? Like this woman, she's part of the gang, or she's related. She's Jer's girl on a car. I know that much.
Yeah. So it's his sister.
Yeah,
right, okay.
It never explains any of this.
No,
this woman called Big Donna turns up at a mall,
which is what I ask for in the shop when I'm drunk. Chili sauce on that, boss. Yes.
She goes. So Tory goes to the bathroom, sticks some lippy on to a fake AC/DC soundtrack. Her mum's there, and her disguise is that she put a Christmas hat on.
Yep.
And I don't really understand how Tory's disguised herself. She's just
right, because you see, the thing is, like, I think the joke throughout all of this is that like Jersey is kind of like Essex, for us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like trashy, and everyone looks down on them, especially New York people.
Yeah.
So like when she was in New York, she had like nice hair and nice clothes, and then as soon as she moves to Jersey, she gets this massive backcoat thing and like
trash.
But they would be more likely to recognize her in Jersey style than she would. So I don't get that.
But no, you'd stand out more not looking like someone from Jersey. I think that's
so the joke is they all look like that and they all dress like that and they all act like that. And
it's
okay. Well, then in that case, I've got no problems with the rest of the plot.
Hawk is dressed up as Father Christmas, just going ho 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 to random passers-by. Mikey Muscles is just stood in a tactical vest with a Christmas hat on, I think.
Yeah, Mikey Muscles is not a well-defined character. Well-defined muscles, ill-defined character. They've got some sort of history. He's just a big bloke who.
Well, no, they say that they used to date. When they're in the car park outside waiting to begin this operation, she goes, "Oh, you're still working with Mikey." And she goes, "Look, even though we used to date, there's no reason that we can't get on." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." They run into Liz. While her and Mikey are having a chat.
Liz.
Liz the legs. Shaved, moisturised, and ready for business, she says. And I was like, ugh.
The line here is, "You never told me you were coming back." So I looked it up. It's 73 miles from Manhattan to Burlington. It's hardly going away, is it?
Especially as Americans are always very proud of the fact that they will drive 500 miles to go and see a band or whatever.
Yeah,
73 miles to me. 73 miles to me is a fair way, isn't it? But for American people who live in cars, it's and then
the idea is that they're planting this tracker on Big Donna. So Tory's following her around, and Liz, they go into a salon because Big Donna goes in there first, but Liz is in the salon as well, and she recognizes Tory, and she breaks a cover, and she's all like, "Oh, you never come here anymore." Meanwhile, Big Donna's goons are just stood outside looking at bras.
Well, one of them's looking at bras, who I thought was the dad of Bobby, but isn't. It's just another guy. And Gail is stood there. She's like, "Ooh, underpants for girls are great, aren't they?" Or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention at this point. And this guy's like, "Oi, oi, 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 oi." And then she puts him in like an elevator, and then just writes out of order on it. And I'm like, that's not how it works.
But she writes out of order with lipstick on it. Yeah, let's not use the lift with lipstick out of order written on it.
But the doors would still open. She didn't glue the doors shut or anything. She just
I mean, that's never stopped me from getting a lift.
No, I'm not using the fucking stairs. Hawk, one of the two other bouncers, one of them goes for a piss, and Hawk just beats the fuck. Oh, chloroforms him, and then Mikey Muscles just beats the fuck out of this other guy in the middle of a shopping mall.
Yeah, it throws him off a mezzanine.
Which again, you can't do that.
It's either one of them or a gantry, and we get a gantry shot later in the film, so I was quite happy by that.
Someone being thrown off a mezzanine is always good.
Yeah, that bit out of Commando, the whole place is on lockdown, isn't it? And that terrible Wonder Woman 84 film, that just goes to shit.
I was just like, you can't just go starting fights in a shopping mall at Christmas.
Well, you probably could these days, couldn't you? Because they're all empty. There's about 10 people in them.
Yeah, I'm going to try it this weekend. I'm going to go up the Trafford Centre, just attack someone.
I'm going to the Kurgat in Leeds.
Old man shouts at cloud. And
another thing, Waterstones. And then Tory goes into this nail salon and he's like, "Oh my God, I need someone." And I was just like, "Oh, fuck this." Big Donna's being pampered in the back. And as she leaves, Tory slips the massivest fucking... It's like a smoke alarm she puts in her purse.
It's like the first mobile phone that I ever owned. It's that big, with a big antenna off it as well.
You would notice if someone put that in your bag. You'd be like, my bag's suddenly got a lot heavier. And then they're like, "Operation successful. Let's go and high five in the car park." A Big Donna walks into the underground car park bit where Minucci is waiting and goes, "It worked," and hands him this tracker.
And he goes, yeah. So he's like, "Oh, great. Now they know where I am." There's no advantage here whatsoever.
No, it was just dumb. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the bounty hunter bells, I'd drop that after this because it's just stupid. They follow her there and then decide to split up. And so Tory and Mickey Muscles, they wandered over to this commercial warehouse complex. And Mickey tries blowing the lock off.
Well, he does something. He puts a packet of matches on it and presses some fake buttons near it because there's no budget. He's just making the noise himself. Harrow. And then she just takes a hairpin out and goes, "Oh." And I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid. I hate it now. I officially hate it. I thought it could get better, but no.
Minucci's sat down in this warehouse, which later turns out to be a water cooler warehouse where they manufacture and fill water coolers.
Because they're
I'm not
cheap.
making that up.
They're cheap to stack a room with, I guess.
Barrels are cheap, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a sweet ass shot of a water cooler getting shot at and like spurting water later on.
It's like
Why
that
the
corn
fuck are they
video.
filling them? You don't need to fill them at the warehouse. It's more efficient to keep them empty.
Surely, you fill them at the, I don't know,
source,
the spring. Yeah.
No, you have them big things, don't you? It's Jersey water. Jersey water.
Jersey water.
When you're away from home and you want that sweet, rare rattan water, that's a river that runs through Jersey.
Wow.
I only against from a World Inferno song. I wouldn't know.
Okay.
This is the bit where he sat eating a lobster dinner.
In
Isn't
a
it? With this bib on.
With a bottle of Chianti.
Yeah, and this is the bit where I just went, fucking hell, it's Gary Stretch from Dead Man's Shoes. I mean, it isn't.
Fucking hell,
but arguably a better, less tragic film.
I've not watched that in a while. I'm not.
No,
yeah.
I at least no bears get their heads blown up in that.
I watched Threads the other day. I need to like set myself up for another depressing evening of watching things. Yeah. And I was like, why are they going after him straight away? Surely you'd go and regroup and like re-strategize and come up with a plan.
Surely we've got another 40 minutes of this film left.
Track him, even though he wants to be I don't know. Anyway, they turn up and he's right where he's supposed to be. And then everyone pulls the guns out. And then fiance James turns up having creepily stalked her using this creepy app that he's got with an oversized bear that gets his head shot off.
Which was fun.
I assume it's shot with a dum-dum. You know this word? Dum-dums?
The thing was, right, I love my wife, but if I was following her using a phone app thing and I was like, it's in this big warehouse, I'm probably not going to go in there. I'll just phone
she's
her.
Up buying water coolers. Okay.
Yeah, but you're not a daft posh lad, are you?
That's true.
Just entitled. Actually, yeah, I can see that.
I can walk wherever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just buy the property. Anyway, there's a gunfight, and a man appears to have a seizure and falls off a high gantry. And I was like, yes, that is what I wanted from this film.
Tick in the gantry box. Yes. But then he runs away. He gets away, the bad guy, Minucci. They drag James and his big exploded bear off to safety.
Is he just passed out? He didn't get hit,
the excitement of it, I think, was too much for him. And so they take him to the Bell HQ,
Casa de Bell.
The Bell Tower. And like he's passed out on the couch, and she's moving all the stuff to try and hide who they are. Like they've got a rack of shotguns on the wall. I was hoping they'd have a button and they all flicked round. I thought that would have been cooler, but obviously that requires budget. So she just pulls a curtain across. Never look behind that. And then he sort of comes to, and we get this weird point of view shot of him waking up. Gail's tits appearing, and then Hawk's face, and then they offer him crackers and spray cheese.
And a foot rub from Kevin Bones / Donnie.
From Donnie. Donnie's not...
Like cracker, cheese, foot rub. It is weird.
I reckon Donnie's web laptop is full of pictures of feet.
I liked the non-character Gail, because I was kind of like, I know that this woman is probably no more than 5 years older than the woman that plays Tory. 30,
probably.
30.
Yeah.
So in Jersey, I'm led to believe that that's roughly about the age that you have kids. And again, I think that's the joke.
Yes. And he's like, Tory comes into like the field of view, and he's like, oh, thank God, I thought I'd been like kidnapped by mad people. He sits down and gets a stun gun up his arse, which I believe would incapacitate you.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was just thinking of I threw it on the ground by Lonely Island, and they taste me in the butthole. But it doesn't. He's like, ow, like putting a battery on your tongue. And then they're like, oh, this is my family. Hawks put a jacket on to cover his arms. But then immediately pushes the sleeves up as well, which I thought was good.
Don Johnson it, yeah. He introduces himself as James Oswald Ballantyne III, just in case you didn't hate him by now.
Golfer's name, I think.
And he wants to marry Tory, and he stands for Tories wherever they are.
I've come all this way, and it's like, I've come to speak to you anyway, Hawk. Because animals, Mr. Hawk, because animals dead, and that's a WWE joke. Nobody there.
Sad.
They're both dead now.
They are both dead.
Because I want to give her this massive ring, and they're like, "Oh my God, we must go and celebrate. Let's go to
Oh, hang on, because Mickey Muscles comes in with a "what did I miss" face. He's always pulling a face.
That's just the Mrs. face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen him wrestle, by the way. I won some
Yeah.
tickets to see Raw when it came to the Brayhead Arena in Scotland.
Miz
It's a lot of fun, that.
Wrestling's great if you suspend your disbelief and just go woohoo, grown men slapping each other. It's brilliant. The Miz is a good wrestler. He's just not for me because they've ruined him by making him do fucking chat shows in a wrestling ring.
Right.
Nobody needs that. I want to see men hitting each other with chairs.
Yeah, well, you're going to see that. The mum shoves the ring in his face. I wouldn't do that to anyone who wasn't a jilted lover of my daughter, let alone just some guy who can pull a face. Then Mum goes upstairs with Tory to help her change for the big night out, and so many leopards died to achieve the look that she wants to create.
Like Bet Gilroy's graveyard, yeah. They say they're going to go to like Cambuchi's or something, and then like I think Hawk goes, "No, we're all barred from there," and I'm like, "Why? What? Fill that out. Why are you barred from somewhere?" So they go to. I thought they'd go for a meal. Because that's what you would do. Normal people. No, they go to a fucking nightclub.
It looked like a strip club.
It probably was a strip club.
There were people on a stage somewhere.
It
didn't focus on what they were doing. Put it that way. Liz is there. She's a nurse and she helped bring James back. So she has been mentioned a couple of times already. Liz, who's a fucking nightmare, let slip that she's banged Mickey Muscles. Tory's banged Mickey Muscles, and that's why he's all suspicious. And I've put she's a bit much as Liz.
She's supposed to be like
on coke or something.
Jersey best friend, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be like have no filter and speak how I find it, and that.
She's in like 5 conversations all at the same time.
She's double fisting drinks. Now it's a party and all this.
Yeah.
And this is where we learn.
This song is about me.
This is where we learn it's Trenton, New Jersey, which is 66 miles.
Yeah, just cockstride.
1.5 hours. It's not bloody Barley.
She literally says it's just through the tunnel.
Yeah.
But yeah, so James and Mickey go to the bar, and James is like, "I'll have a champagne," because he's rich.
What do rich people? What do they drink? Oh, champagne, please.
And Mick's like, "I'll have a beer and a chaser," and I was like, "Good lad." And then he's like, "I'll have one of those too." And I was hoping they were going to get him shit faced and like shave his eyebrows off or some, fun.
Yeah, that felt like that's where it was going.
No, nothing happens in this. They go to the nightclub, and just that bit of plot is divulged that Muscles and Tory used to date. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all that happens, literally.
And it's not serious kind of thing. But then later on, it's like very full on, and you're like, what?
Yeah. I think James dances with Tory, who dances with James, who dances with Mickey, who dances with Liz. And for all of this, it's like they've said, what is dancing? And the director's gone, it's like a puppeteer's got you by the arms, And you're in
you've been hit by a stun gun. In the butthole. And the next day we get they're going out to buy a Christmas tree. Well, they use the cover of Going for a Christmas Tree because Minucci is somewhere near the Christmas tree.
Mickey's got a hot tip that he's at the Christmas tree factory.
Jersey, everyone's got hot tips.
Donnie is not allowed to go for reasons.
He's the man in the chair.
He takes the calls, but Mickey took the call, so I don't quite follow what Donnie's role is.
I just have visions of in Peep Show. Do you not shoot? I'm not allowed guns. Yeah, he is the and so they all go, but they don't take James. They don't go James going to get a Christmas tree. They just fuck off and leave him.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they're not going to get a Christmas tree.
No, but like. They don't tell him that they're going anywhere. They just leave like your fiance in your house with Donnie. Like he's probably going to try
of the webbed hands.
He's probably going to try and suck his feet or something. Like
just going to show him endless YouTube videos. I won't say what of. Andrew Tate. And And so Donnie's like, "Oh, I hate being the only one left behind." And James is
I'm a desk man too.
I'd be left behind. Yeah, I'm a desk man too. Is that a term? No, I don't think it is. Anyway,
he then turns along and says, "Oh, so you mean you've seen the videos about how they're putting stuff in the water to turn the frogs gay as well?" Wow.
Yeah. Calcifying third eye with fluorine. That's why I only drink Jersey water.
Clink.
So Donnie invites him out to go Christmas tree shopping, knowing that the family aren't Christmas tree shopping because he wants to beyond
Be
the case
involved.
as well.
Yeah.
Not seeing the flaw in this plan. It's a very awkward scene as they sort of pull up in the parking lot of this Christmas tree factory. And Tory keeps telling James to shush, but then acting like it's fine. And instead of him saying, "Why are you doing that all the time?" he just like ignores the fact that he's been shushed.
Yeah.
I find hard to believe.
Hawk has this plan, so Gale keeps the car running. We'll go here, and you two fuck off right over there, like out of the way. And he's going,
you two,
he goes,
awkward sexual tension. Go over there together.
"Oh, you take your Christmas tree shopping seriously, don't you?" And I'm like, "Come on, mate, you can't be. They're clearly not Christmas tree shopping. They've got tactical body armor on. Like it's
just
not
in
like
case
Black
they
Friday."
get spiked by the needles.
So they go into this thing, and then immediately all hell breaks loose. Like there's a gunfight in a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Like because instead of
my
trying
favourite-
to take them down peacefully, like I'm fairly sure it's a bounty hunter. It's not like the Wild West. It's not like dead or alive. You're coming with me. It's like you need to return them alive, otherwise that's murder. Like
I thought it was just like a greeting or something because it is like constant gunfire whenever they're in contact with anyone,
bang, bang,
including
bang, bang,
themselves.
bang.
Yeah, and then they there's like about to be a car chase or something. There's a van involved. Minucci's getting away.
Minucci gets in the van.
But
and
my
then
favourite bit is that James just pops up in the middle of all of this.
he just pops his head out from around a tree and goes, "What's happening?" While she's actively firing a gun at the van, and then a random guy bundles him into the van and drives off. And I was like, "Good, you got out of that, and you've got an expensive ring. Get that on eBay." It's Thingy peels round the corner. Mickey Muscles in a car. There's a car chase. But like again, I don't think you're allowed to do this. You're not the law. Like
No.
I always thought like bounty hunters as well. My knowledge of it is based basically on Dog the Bounty Hunter. Is that it's always in like the central states where there is nothing.
Yeah.
So like you can go and like get round this guy's house because there's just land around it. Like you can't do it in New Jersey, which is a city. Like it's a built up place. They're not the cops. It was just you can't go screaming through traffic at 80 miles an hour.
They're made
they're-
out to be like LAPD or something, aren't they?
Like special
Yeah.
forces.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
They're Andy
actually,
McNabb. They're
they-
Andy McNabb. They're Andy
they
McNabb.
really
They're Andy
wouldn't-
McDowell.
Randy
They really
McNabb.
wouldn't want to do all of that because the police have a certain level of immunity from liability,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
regular people don't have. So you don't want to be ratting your car through the centre of town. But yeah, anyway, they lose the van, crash, and Mickey, who throughout this entire fucking car chase has been like, he's a prick, you should dump him, get with me. And then they crash, and then she goes all sad, and he says, "Oh, well, they won't kill him because they want to kill you instead." And she's like, "Oh, that's so comforting."
Thanks for that, Mickey. He's like, anytime, sweetheart.
I'm ready to interrupt any and all conversations you have in the future.
And so they go, and then we get like, it turns out they do some actual sort of detective work because they're back
Okay.
at the bell tower and Liz shows up again, uninvited. She's just, and they're like, "Well, what was Big Donna doing?" And
Oh
they're
yeah,
like,
she is involved, isn't she? Because she brings some donuts in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to work out
That's that.
what's going on, and she arrives with some donuts because plot. And she's like, "Well, she was getting and they go, "Oh, she was getting her hair and her nails and a spray tan done," and they both go, "Jersey wedding," and I was like, "Is that a phrase?" And I didn't want to look it up on Urban Dictionary because it's probably something filthy, isn't it?
And they say, a spray tan that goes streaky in how long? 72 hours. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it was bad good. Like at least they're trying, you know.
I just didn't like the racial stereotypes of people from Jersey being trash people. Although that
Yeah.
episode of of It's Always Sunny where they go to Jersey sort of proves that as well.
Donnie has a plan to reactivate the tracker, but it doesn't matter because there's only one location that they can shoot in, which is the commercial park that they were just in. So they decide that the wedding is going there. There's a gazebo or something, and they're
She says,
like,
"Oh,
it's
in the
definitely
the Jersey Water factory, there was a gazebo as well." And I was like, "So they could be storage, you know?"
I think they say
There was
it's
a load
sparkly
of
gazebo.
barrels as well. Like, maybe they're going to film Kickstart there. And then
you smash a water cooler bottle as you get married. That's how it works, isn't it?
in Jersey, and then
Oh,
Mikey goes, "And here's our invitation," and it's just a picture of James.
looking sad.
Looking a bit sad, but also it felt very much like a headshot that he just took, and it's like he should have had like a little sailor's hat on. So
Dr. Clown.
they tool up to go and stop the wedding, and genuinely this was quite fun. I thought.
The day of the wedding. Yeah, last
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the happiest day of your life in a warehouse.
not the happiest day in my house in a warehouse. I've had better.
I mean, have either of you two ever been to a Christmas wedding?
No, because
Oh,
wait, my brother got married near Christmas, yeah, but they
They
didn't make a
seem
big...
very selfish. It seems like a very because it's the busiest time of the year for a lot of families. To then have to go and do it 2 days before Christmas is this?
I think it's probably cheaper. I don't know.
What
Also,
does it matter if you're absolutely loaded crime family with your own
Also,
water
yeah.
warehouse within which you can host your own warehouse wedding?
I reckon they do
Call me
other
the
stuff in
Splash
there
King.
as well. Do you have like bar mitzvahs, Christian bar mitzvahs?
Yeah.
Synergy. But I did like the fact that all these other gangsters are there and they've got like a coat check system for their guns. That
I
made me
like
laugh.
I liked the guns
Genuinely
on
the
the
best
coat
bit of the
rack
film.
thing. Yeah,
So
especially
much.
later on when they're all going for their guns and they realise
all
they're on
just-
this coat rack.
That made me chuckle. It was like no blades, no bows. Leave your weapons here. So they all go in like through various hawks up on some gantry with some
because there's
goggles.
no perimeter guards of any kind.
No, it's
They
the
just
worst
walk,
crime
they walk
family.
over.
Yeah, they just walk in. Oh, all right. Yeah, we're here for the wedding in full tack gear. Yeah. Everyone else is in suits. And then like Hawk and Gale are like, it's the Bell Christmas. Look, what was he called? Mickey Waves, because he's got curly hair. And like stuff like Tommy Spaghetti. It was really, really bad gangster names. But Minucci's walking around giving it the big I am. Hey, look at this guy over here. Hey, look at this guy over here.
It literally is that as well.
Oh yeah.
And there's this bit where she talks to him, non-union Melissa McCarthy, and she says that it's a real shame that we're the only ones that are going to be here. Because all the rest of them are dead. And I was like, well, fucking hell, keep it light.
Dead or in prison, yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, the Bell family are surrounding this gathering. They realise that the party's full of criminals with outstanding bounties, and the mum says it's a very bountiful Christmas for the Bells, which is the hallmark title of this film. And Tory she's tracking James's phone with the Love Heart app because the phone is still on. It's on a chaise longue somewhere.
Yeah, he's having just to lie down.
So she goes there. and she goes to pick it up, and a goon steps out and quite reasonably asks if she's a fucking idiot.
Leopold.
Is that his name?
That was his name, Leopold.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, this was for bounty hunters, they're not very good.
No.
Because they literally walked into that room and got ambushed straight away.
Oh yeah.
But they've got James now.
So it's time. Yeah. So go on.
There's a bit. Somebody gets a prop hook to the face, and it's kind of like
near the end.
For some reason, my notes are the wrong way around. So I've got this prop hook bit here. When I was like, I don't think that's there.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, prop hook to the face. It's like it's
the
made
big
out
fight at the end.
Papier mâché.
I would have liked that.
Made by a Blue Peter presenter.
Yeah, it's the big fight at the end between Minucci and Tory.
Well, it is time for the big shootout, and to be honest, I think everything gets a little bit out of control at this point.
It felt very much like I've done 1,000 words. I only need to do 1,100. So pew 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 pew. Yeah, because immediately again everything goes to shit. Instead of trying to take them down quietly, they open fire, and not all those people there are criminals. Auntie Jean's not done now.
Equally, nobody can shoot for fuck in this place, and a lot of water coolers suffer for this.
A cake explodes, and the ice sculpture also explodes. Big fan of stuff. Yeah, exploding.
Ice to see you.
Nice to see you. Ah, very good. You beat me to it.
Big Donna is like, oh, I'm gonna murder my brother because he's ruining her special day in the warehouse.
In spite of the fact it's not on him.
Oh, we never see her husband either, do we?
No.
Very much like the real Melissa McCarthy.
Hey.
She tries to crack on with another goon as well at one point.
Yeah, she's just sitting down and goes,
yeah.
So I didn't know if he'd been killed or something, but it's not clear. Mum and Dad, they trap the guests with. They open up some shotguns, and they can't escape. Don't know why they don't just go back and get the guns, but there we go.
Because Gale and Hawk wheel off the clothes rack with all the guns on it at one point.
Oh, right.
And then they seal the big metal door and stand there with a shotgun going, right, you're all fucking nicked.
Yes.
And I was like, they're not all criminals.
Yeah, so nobody's keeping watch over the thing full of guns? Not even from kids coming along and
Oh, no, because they've wheeled them behind the door, haven't they?
They
so it's fine.
They walked off with them, yeah. But as soon as the gunfight happens, all the gangsters go for their guns, but they haven't got them, which was a funny bit, I guess. Tory and Minucci end up she has a fight with him. He's sort of getting the better of her, and then she like you said, this big fucking rubber stage hook smashes him in the face, and he falls off about 5 foot down.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm dead now. And I was like, have you got the bone density of a hummingbird? What? And so she there's a good bit as well when she goes like that. She looks down at him with her gun and then goes, oh, but just runs around the side and then does it again. It comes down with him and he's like, oh, you think you can beat me, but also you've forgotten. And Leopold appears with James, which I thought he'd been captured. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And he goes, I'll let him go if you come with me. And she goes, oh, okay, then fair enough. And I was like, what's the end game here, though?
Yeah. Her jump off the roof is like Lou Ferrigno at the start of The Incredible Hulk. It's like quite blatantly just off of, like, I don't know, a step, like the kind of step that you would have a child's nativity on in a Sunday school.
to relive your past trauma. Yeah.
about camel height.
Yeah, roughly.
Minucci at this point is all like sort of thing. There's nothing you can do about it. They're escorted outside by Leopold and Minucci, who are apparently the last two left, I think.
Yeah. Everyone else is trapped in the factory.
I'm sure that's a compilation album.
They're being bottled.
And luckily, Mickey Muscles is on the roof, and Tory catches his eye, and they've synchronized him jumping down from there because she's like, and ducking 3, 2, 1, and then he's on him. Yeah. He's jumped off. Another brawl breaks out. Minucci runs for the car. Leopold's just got trashed into some corrugated iron or something.
Does he not hit him with like a candlestick? I'm sure, like
none of this rings any bells to me.
Because it's the Miz and he is a wrestler. They've got to get him in doing like the coordinated stunt fight, haven't they?
Is there not like a folded chair or something?
No. So he does like, and I thought he was going to do like his finisher because that'd be like a good wink, wouldn't it? He doesn't. He hits someone with a car door. Oh no, they get off in the car and then
yes. So Minucci's off in the car.
Minucci's off in the car, and Tory gets in the car, and he's like, "Rah!" She's like, open the doors. So the parents open the doors. All these people start going out the doors, and then she just drives through them. Like she just plows through them, like Death Race 2000 style.
So you had all those people in custody, and then...
and now they're all fucking flat. She T-bones this car. Mike has this fight. Mikey Muscles has this fight. And I'm sure he picks up, maybe not like a one of them things that you put like velvet ropes on. Like a, what they call it?
Yeah, one of those post things. One of those.
I'm sure he bashes someone over the back with one of them. And I was like, it's not fun. That fight sequence is pretty good, to be fair. But
another Hollyoaks car crash, 0 damage to the body.
Yeah.
Even though it's gone through all the wedding stuff in the warehouse on the way down as well, which was a nice sort of finish to that. Don't get me wrong. Minucci gets arrested. Everyone compliments Tory.
She does a cool Starsky and Hutch leap over the front of the car and handcuffs him.
Yeah.
Fair
enough. And then she goes over to Mickey Muscles to have a nice chat. And he's did I just dream this, or did he say that he's going into law? Like, you've broken so many laws.
Yeah, like, but I thought, right, the whole point of this was because he's like, I love you, always have. But I thought he was like, but I know you've got your other life now, and you know, I'll miss you, but you'll always be like a bounty hunter sort of thing. And she's like, yeah, okay. Walks away. Like, James is in the ambulance with some guy going rhubarb by him, and he stands up, and then they have this conversation. And she basically goes, yeah, I'm going to stay here.
Complaining about her bounty hunter life the whole film through.
He says, I guess I'll get to know you, the person that you used to be and are right now. And she's like, yeah, get to fuck.
And he's like, all right then, bye.
Yeah. And she immediately cracks on with Mickey Muscles.
Runs over, jumps on his car, like
leaps into his arms.
It's the bounty hunter dating. That it's just you got to jump on their car and then they're yours. And then like sticks lips on him, and I was like, he's only there, James.
The ambulance is there.
Sticks lips on him, and then that's that. They do a deep kissing. And then is there more?
Yeah, there's Christmas at the house. She's now properly with Mickey. The same Christmas, so she's full in.
10 minutes later.
Dad and Mum, they've decided that they're going to go off biking. Liz comes around with some cookies that are hot, sweet, and fresh from my oven. I'm like, No, Liz.
Donnie steals them all and puts his own icing on them
He does,
inside.
like a fucking Craven comic book villain. Just nicks them all. I've got to have something in this film.
Because Mum and Dad are going to take their honeymoon on them two awful looking.
This is how Wild Hogs starts, I believe.
Fuck off.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Easy Rider 3.
Future episode of my podcast.
And then it ends.
And then we get like a Slumdog Millionaire style.
Oh, I don't
finish.
know. I don't know, because the second I saw dancing, I clicked that stop button. I closed that browser down.
Oh no, I watched
Nope. I respect myself just that little bit more than you two do. So.
I think there was a plague once. I'm going to say like the 1500s of something called the dancing sweats, English dancing disease or something.
Dancing sweats tonight upstairs at the
yeah, and I think that's what they've got in this. To the tune of "Ho Ho Ho, Merry Christmas."
They've all got St. Vita's dance.
Wow. It's Tory and Mickey dancing, and James and some hookers.
Two random women in Mrs. Claus outfits that have wandered in off a Mean Girls stage show production. And then they just but it's like it's not proper dancing. It's
nobody
just
can
like
dance.
Oddly, well, we've already seen they can't dance when they went to the strip club, and then like it ends, and I was like, that was a film that got made.
And James at the end says, and that's a wrap on A Christmas Bounty.
I stopped at that point.
It's just diminishing returns.
Tory Bell will return in Christmas Bounty 2, Dark Bounty. I mean, the Christmas part of it plays really it could have been set any time of year.
Yes.
Which is always a bit disappointing with these things. But there was moments of fun in it. There were few and far between. But if you watch it on YouTube, it is less than an hour long, because the guy who has uploaded it at 1.5 speed.
What a hero.
And I guess it's got that going for it.
And that fantastic border with the Christmas tree twinkling.
Yeah.
To get around copyright. Because WWE are nothing if not litigious with their copyright. But yeah, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to, but it ain't good.
No, this was not a good film.
No. Your scores, James?
Oh, I'm going to go with 3 bronze sleeves. Unwanted sleeves.
How 3? 1, 2, and then like a rogue bronze sleeve. Mark?
2, 1 bronze Ghostbusters HQ, because it was just naff.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be 3 bronze Chinese men perving at some lingerie. Just because, like,
what the gun to get bronzed.
The gun bit made me laugh, but other than that,
the thing with this is, like, glance behind the curtain, listener. It's been red hot in the UK now for about 3 weeks, and I hope this being a Christmas film would at least kind of cool me down a little bit. And the only thing it made me feel was like angry and maybe just a little bit disappointed. And I just wanted anything else. I just wanted a dog in Home Alone, potentially. I don't know.
Don't give it away.
That was A Christmas Bounty 2013, also known as Christmas Reward in Croatia or Headhunters Christmas in Hungary.
Jesus.
That sounds like one of those video nasties, Cannibal Holocaust.
The follow-up to The Football Factory.
It was the same year as it was a superior film. Go back and listen to it. Chupacabra versus the Alamo. Where the Chupacabras are just photoshopped
cartoons.
People froth at the mouth for no reason. It was a great film. There was no budget because assume there was a budget. It was a TV movie, so we don't get the budget for that. So I did look up what bounty hunters make. I was trying to look up how much it costs to
hire a bounty
hunter, but I couldn't find that information. It turns out they take like 10% of the bail, which doesn't seem high to me.
Well,
unless
they said
going
that
after somebody high up,
someone that's in for corporate espionage or something like that.
Yeah.
Ripping off
like
rich
James.
bastards. Yeah.
So Mickey Waves was 20 grand. Because they did say when they were doing the Christmas thing, they said he was worth 20 grand and Tommy Spaghetti was 50 grand. So that's 70 grand. If you're taking 10% of that, it ain't bad. But then
I
again,
can
you
see
split
why they
that
want all
four
the people
ways.
at the end. What I can't understand is why they drove a car straight through them all. But yeah, and it was
Dead or alive?
directed. It was a collaboration between WWE Studios and ABC Family, and if nothing else, I want that partnership idea to be filmed. How that came about? It debuted near the start of the 25 Days of Christmas event, coming second on November the 26th in 2013. So they started low and worked themselves up. April Telek, the mum, she received a nomination at the 2014 Canadian Film Award for Best Actress for this.
What? She's hardly in it.
And all she does is say "baby girl." That's her only line in it.
And
Chestiest actress.
yeah, and like vague sexual innuendo quite a bit.
Yeah, there's not a category for that. I looked that up as well.
Planty Pods, get on that, yeah.
It was directed by Joe Younger, whose most famous film was 10 Things I Hate About You, an actual big film. He was also nominated for an Emmy in 1997, so he's got into like a funk with films. And to be honest, he probably owes money to Vince McMahon or something. I don't know. So this
2013, this is sort of like, I imagine Vince probably threw money at this.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of money. Not
they were trying to make The
amount.
Miz like the next sort of Cena Rock type thing, weren't they? I'm guessing.
Had 3 writers. Vivian Lee this was her only film credit, but she has done TV.
Vivian Lee?
Andrew. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I thought she was dead, but okay.
Not the Psycho's Vivian Lee.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Shame.
Andrew Black, who did Narcos, directed some of the Narcos Mexico series, and Claudia Gracioso, Hallmark writer of The Christmas Cottage. So it had 3 writers, and they were trying to purposefully sort of weave in established people and Hallmark people to. But that sort of ties into the start of the film. It does have a Hallmark sort of feel. She's a school teacher. It's all very sort of urbane and everything. And then that rapidly descends off a cliff.
As soon as she leaps off that roof on Bobby's dad's car.
It's metaphorically, spiritually
this is
life.
This is the thing, is that it says it had 3 writers, but if I know anything about WWE programming, is that Vince McMahon will show up on the day as the scripts are written and go, we're changing all of it, and then just do a big old line of coke and be like, let's all do like just mad shit, like, because notorious for it. Like, so I reckon that's what happened, is that it was going to be a normal Hallmark film. She has to go back home, and maybe her parents are bounty hunters and she's trying to hide it. And so, and then he went, and we're getting the Miz in it.
Tory was Francia Reza. Lots of TV work, including How I Met Your Father. She's got Honduran and Mexican heritage. Star of an ice skating film series called The Cutting Edge, which isn't as dark as it sounds. But the weirdest film, I think, has to be, there's a Drop Dead Fred knockoff, which is Life Size 2 she's in, which is where somebody's Barbie doll comes to life as a human-sized sidekick, and the sort of punch to it is that it's not funny.
The first one of those, I think, might have been the American model. She not the Project Walkway or whatever it was. What's she called? The big, huge American model.
You're asking the wrong man.
Yeah, she was in that first one where her Barbie doll comes to life.
Right.
I assume in the second one it's I don't know, some WWE diva or something.
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, that's the one.
And Lindsay Lohan's in it.
Oh.
And also, in the summer of 2017, she donated a kidney to her friend, actress and singer Selena Gomez, who is battling lupus. So thanks, IMDb trivia.
Wait a second. I've seen
overshare.
every episode of House. It's never fucking lupus.
One time it was lupus, though, wasn't it?
There you go. And apparently it was Selena Gomez. So on the bright side, at least we've got 3 series of Only Murders in the Building.
All of the credits for this are equally sort of like strange, but not like mentionable strange. Until we get to Mickey Muscles, Mike the Miz, Mezzanine. I was going to do all sorts of like nonsense about how he got his nickname the Miz.
Right there, mate.
It's not Mr. or Mrs., is it? Anyway,
it's like the situation.
he's a
The
reality.
weekend.
He's a reality TV star who auditioned for WWE. Now, I'm relying a lot on Wikipedia pages of WWE stuff. I've not watched WWE since the 90s, so I'm well out of it. But he auditioned for WWE's Tough Enough. Despite finishing in second place, he apparently did well enough that he got a sort of developmental contract and became, it says on Wikipedia, one of WWE's biggest stars. And he's won all sorts of competitions and stuff. But now imagine my problem with this. Imagine that you're unfamiliar with the franchise for a moment and then you encounter this phrase on Wikipedia. At the same time, he began a feud with Diva Search winner Layla L, who spurned his advances on more than one occasion, leading to Miz helping Crystal defeat her in various competitions. However, Miz and Crystal soon found themselves being stalked by the Boogeyman. This began a feud in which the Boogeyman ended the Miz's winning streak on December 17th at Armageddon. And the only thing I can take from that is that the Boogeyman is some sort of hubris-sensing wizard.
No, the Boogeyman is okay. Armageddon is a pay-per-view, so like it's not the end times. It's not like
good because I missed that.
Cats and dogs living together, that sort of thing. The Boogeyman was
people,
his thing was like he was like the Boogeyman. He would eat worms and had like face paint on, and terrible wrestler, terrible gimmick. Makes reappearances every so often when WWE need to wheel out some sort of old people. The Boogeyman shows up every so often, but terrible gimmick. That
Looks
whole
a bit racist. I'm looking to be honest. I'm not okay with that.
Because I think he was supposed to be kind of like voodoo based, a bit like Papa Shango-y sort of thing.
I don't like it.
Real name Marty Wright.
Yeah, well,
Martin Wright,
better known as
Boogeyman.
the Godfather as well. But let's not get into that because
Yeah.
that's problematic in this day and age. But yeah,
Built
that whole
from the bottomless pit.
Yeah, come on, it's wrestling. But yeah, that whole Divas era of wrestling is particularly troublesome nowadays. Well, even then, I was like, but it's even more so now.
Trained by Stevie Ray. Who wants to know?
Oh, fuck off.
So The Miz, he starred in the Marine series of WWE studio films. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So he's clearly got a fast year in his thing going on.
First Cena one's meant to be all right, isn't it?
Yes.
Is the first one of those a Cena film?
We're
It's meant
not
to be
talking.
okay.
I mean, if it was, we're talking about 3, 4, 5, and 6 at this point.
Thanks when Cena had left, they were like, get the fucking Miz in.
He later went on to star in another Joe Young Christmas film, Santa's Little Helper, 2015. A slick, fast-talking businessman, The Miz, is thrown into elf competition to become Santa's next in command.
I think that's the one that's got Soraya / Paige in it as well. Which I think we might have to do at Christmas, because I've heard it's terrible.
Alongside that other little the wrestling fella, the small guy, the small person actor.
Not Wee Man. What's it called? Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I have been pitching that since I came on for the first time about a year and a half ago.
And once he gets it, he'll just leave. So we can never do it.
He just goes by Swoggle now, anyway.
Right.
Still wrestles. Turned up in like GCW a while back and did now, because it's not great. There is a really fun. There is a they have TLC tables, ladders, and chairs matches. They did a WLC match where it was all little people wrestling with tiny step ladders and tiny chairs.
Brilliant.
It's really good, actually.
In a Wendy house.
But yeah, fucking hell.
And thus James Fax is suplexed into next Tuesday.
Is either there's it's that thing of people putting ironic reviews down for it, but I only got one because a lot of it was kind of shite. 2 out of 10. Eye candy for both boys and girls by J Farms 1956-2.
I couldn't even get the 1956th iteration of that name.
The movie Christmas Bounty is for those who like lots of action and for those who are 13 or over. Christmas Bounty has little to do with Christmas, except it happens during Christmas.
Yeah.
It could be at any time of year, fair enough. There is no Christmas magic. The movie will also put a smile on your face during its comedic scene. There is eye candy for both the guys and gals, mostly the guys, as the lead and many of the supporting actresses are hotties. The action in this film helps to maintain your involvement in the film. The movie would be enjoyed by adults without small children. Pop your bowl of popcorn or have pizza delivered for this film. Don't know.
Nice tasting selection at the end.
J Farms is clearly going through some stuff. Like the kids don't want to see him. But yeah, it's not a great film. I don't think I will ever watch it again. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really to say about it. That was Christmas Bounty 2013.
We've broken him.
I'm so hot. This fan's doing nothing. Your favourite line from the film?
We're gonna have a happy Christmas. We're gonna have a happy Christmas. We're gonna have a.
Real mummers do it on the road.
What? When was that?
It was on a t-shirt.
Oh,
t-shirt.
dear. Yeah. Say goodbye, boys and girls.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm off to Manhattan.
I'm going to rely a lot on your knowledge of that.